Akademiks can't ride no wave.
Anyone who is interested could go check it out. All right. Not much of a monologue here, but I do want to start a little bit hot, and I'm now seeing this kind of get proliferated a little bit more, and I want to kind of address it head on. And I want to call a lot of people to the carpet. So I seen Pusha T, who seems to be the latest person, who's joining into this. I'm gonna call it the Charlotte conspiracy, and I'm gonna call it a conspiracy because, again, until we see some definitive list or whatever proof, it feels like it's hearsay. And if you've known or seen the content I've done recently, I'm not, I don't fall for every conspiracy, but I don't try to rule out everything. However, this is a really interesting one because I have labeled it as a conspiracy, and the people who have indulged in this conspiracy are the ones who usually disavow every other conspiracy. So this is where it gets a little bit odd. So remember this idea, right? And this is actually proven. So Rebel Wilson's PR team was recorded planning to paint some producer as a sex trafficker. Now, this PR team has worked for many people, right? Many people. One of their clients happened to be Drake. One of their clients is Aiden Ross. They have many high-profile clients, right? Like you could look up their name and see all the people they have worked for. Okay, let me see if I could find Jed Wallace. Just look up Jed Wallace. Jed Wallace, who has he represented? And yeah, if you look up the names, you'll start seeing Justin Baldoni. You'll hear California State Assembly candidate Travis Allen, plastic surgeon, mad different various groups. Like, it's a bunch of people. And yeah, Paramount Pictures. Hold on. Oh my God, I can't read these articles, right? It won't show me. But you can see he's represented Aiden Ross, Paramount Pictures. Hell, I don't even know who some of these people are, right? However, this is why I call this a conspiracy. I feel like Charlamagne is the first one to say it, but he's the person that says, and he's connected into hip hop, saying that there's a hip hop kind of entity or hip hop adjacent entity that's using PR companies to spread propaganda on people they don't like in hip hop. Now, when he said that, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, he's talking about Roc Nation. Now, and I'm trying to explain the way you guys could understand. And that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for tangible proof. When I came out months ago and I said some of these bigger companies, and I'm not here defending Drake or nobody, nigga. All I'm trying to say is that I'm kind of now suspicious how Charlamagne the God and Pusha T, who they absolutely swore off anything to do with Roc Nation being, into smearing or whatever the case is, they're now talking about smearing, but they're claiming it's Drake people doing it. Now, I'm not here to defend Drake. Maybe Drake doing it. I don't know. All I'm saying is I have the proof of what happened to me. I wonder what their proof is. Now, Pusha T today tweeted, right? By the way, Pusha T, he signed to Roc Nation. He's literally signed to Roc Nation. He retweets this article and he says, interesting. And without putting words in his mouth, he's probably alluding to the connective tissue or the connectivity of people who keep saying this PR team Drake also uses, and Drake is paying to smear everybody or smear Jay-Z or to smear, I don't know what it is, right? Now, for me, I'm just looking at the interesting part. So y'all are telling me that months ago when I told y'all that there was 2 cars outside my house for months on end, they were just sitting there. Niggas was knocking on my door and I told y'all these people are stalking me because of Meg Thee Stallion. They dragged me to a 7-hour deposition, turned to 8 hours. They dragged me to federal court. I said, this is all stemming from Meg Thee Stallion, but it's not Meg, it's Roc Nation. Everybody said, no, why are you bringing in Roc Nation and Jay-Z into the matter? Everybody defended them. They're saying that basically I was almost batshit crazy. We've seen it with other people saying it. Nobody wanted to hear about smear campaigns when it came to that. Nobody wanted to hear about maybe paid campaigns or people with money who might use their influence and financial, resources to bully people, change narratives. Nobody wanted to listen to that for Roc Nation and them. But now we have a Roc Nation artist and Charlamagne trying to convince me that Drake is a nigga who is who the fuck is Drake smearing? Drake, the nigga that got called a pedophile. If anything, if Drake has a team, like literally, if Drake has a team that he's paying millions to smear people, his money must be dirt. Because of anybody in the last 3 years, he's gotten called the worst thing, the loudest on the biggest stage, a pedophile. And nobody else has got called nothing on the biggest stage ever. This would be the failure of epic proportions if Drake was actually paying people to smear people. So that's why I say I would love to hear the people who are invested in this. I'm going to call it conspiracy theory for now. But who knows? It might be true. I want to hear their proof. Like, what have they seen? Because I told every nigga what I seen with Roc Nation. Hey, yo, y'all ain't see that? Y'all ain't see that? They're like, oh, no, that's just Meg suing so-and-so. That has nothing to Roc Nation. I'm in a deposition. I see the shit pop up on the screen. Yo, go tell Roc Nation CEO Akademiks said this. Yo, what the fuck are y'all talking about? I literally said that. Nobody want to believe me. But now I'm supposed to believe Pusha T and Charlamagne? Really? Pusha T. And more Pusha than Charla. Because you're signed to Roc Nation, before you start speaking about any conspiracy theories or even mention or utter the word smear campaign, you got to look at your employers first. It's been documented. Testimonials have been put on record. People have given their own lived testimony on how Roc Nation or what they've done, and you are getting paid by them, buddy. So while I'm all for us diving into anybody who have smear campaigns going on against anybody, I'm telling y'all, it's like, imagine like someone saying they're looking for all the PDFs, but they're like, except Jeffrey Epstein. You'd be like, nigga, what the fuck? He the biggest one. If we're looking for people or companies that are doing smear campaigns and are paying people and trying to subvert like how people can have their own independent opinions, we got to start with Roc Nation first. So until Pusha T and Charlamagne basically say, hey, listen, we don't fuck with none of these people that do these things. Let's start with Roc Nation, and then let's get to if Drake pay nobody, and then let's keep going down the list to find everybody who's getting smear campaign, whatever. I kind of don't want to hear this bullshit. You're not going to get signed by Roc Nation. Roc Nation, my nigga. And then literally you're over here. Roc Nation moves like the Army, the Navy, the fucking terrorists, the PR company. They move like anything, nigga. Anyway. Pusha, I would love to have a conversation with you about it. Even Charlamagne. But I do think it's utterly ridiculous. And for the people, I guess if you didn't watch my kick stream before, let me see if I can pull up the clip that Charlamagne supposedly broke. I don't even know if this clip is like even recent. But for me, what it told me was, okay, this is about his album. No. Chat, why can't I find the fucking clip? I could never find the clip. Okay, I can't find it. I got to get my clips in order. I never know where I'm going to go with when I start giving my diatribes. Okay, but if you guys get what I'm saying, Charlamagne had this like clip on the Brilliant Idiots where he's like, actually, I know how to find it. Yeah, someone had quote tweeted this. Oh, I can't even see it. Okay, whatever. I don't know. How do I find it? Somebody's gonna tell me right now. Also, it's ironic with Pusha T even saying that. I just want to give a little bit of context. Pusha T, who signed for his new album, right? Pusha T, who signed for his new album to Roc Nation. He signed to Roc Nation for his new album. Okay? As part of him signing there, we need to remind him the things that Roc Nation has been accused of. Now, when we talk about PR companies who want to do smear campaigns, I think this would qualify as a PR company or a company, period, that wants to do a smear campaign. Always remember this. This is a very classic clip. Here we go.
And she was talking about, but when Nessa's talking right there, there's a part of me that feels bad about letting her be on her own with saying that. And this is the reality. This is what happens, at least in what happened, at least in this one instance, because I was there. I know for sure, I'm not saying it was Jay-Z. I can't say that Jay-Z did anything, right? But I know for sure, that Roc Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick during the time that he was really in traction with Jay-Z.
Oh. I want to play these clips juxtaposed to each other. This is why I'm always undefeated. Check this out. So Van Lathan, who used to work at TMZ, says unequivocally, I know Roc Nation was seeding. That's how you kind of put out things that you want the media to cover. You seed those things. Sometimes it's by paid versions or paid means, or maybe someone owes you a favor, or you'll submit something in a PR type of way, and you hope it get covered to deliver whatever your intended goal is. You hear the guy who used to work at TMZ. In case y'all never heard, let me play it again.
For sure that Roc Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick.
Okay, so when we talk about smear campaigns, it's usually because you're trying to put out negative things. Now he's confirming he knows Roc Nation, for sure, was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick. Well, isn't this ironic? Let's listen to good old Charlo.
Oh, no, I was talking about never mind. I don't even want to.
Say it. We could cut.
Well, there's a PR firm that reps two people in particular, and it's interesting to watch these two people put things out there in the ecosystem to control the narratives about things.
That's exactly what Roc Nation does.
I'll say this. Both names rhyme with each other.
Rock and sock?
Rhyme. If you guess, I'll tell you.
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
No. Ooh. Both names rhyme, and one of their biggest endorsements rhyme.
Oh, Drake, Steak.
Fuck. You almost there, Alex.
Blake?
Drake, Steak, and...
I don't know.
I thought this was y'all lied to me. Y'all told me this was the biggest story, and everybody's on to it.
Oh, Blake.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Blake Lively.
Oh, you on it? You on it now?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You on it now? Yeah.
Right.
Damn.
This is a spreadsheet. What's that number?
2,026,000.
That's all the sites they feed stories to. By the way, this is only one spreadsheet. Look at this one.
So I would love you. Tell
And
people.
by the way, look, and it's not just the sites. Look, hold on, look what's on. Look at the stuff that's on here. Look at all of the websites, all of the fan pages, all of the blog sites. I'm not gonna jump out the window and accuse y'all of anything. I'm just gonna simply say we know who's getting paid to push things. We know who's getting paid to push things.
We should put.
And we know who's getting paid to push things.
We should put.
Okay. So here's with me. I love the exposals. That's my type of thing. But we got to start with the head of the snake. The head of the snake happens to be this guy right here, Rock Nation and Jay-Z. Sorry to say.
During the time that he was really in traction with Jay-Z, for sure. I've told this story before. I'll tell it again. This is another story where I give Harvey a ton of credit. Right. So I'm at my desk one time. This is after the Rock Nation NFL deal has been announced. And give Harvey more credit than just with how he played this. I'll give him credit for the fact that he goes, hey, I just got this information on the phone. I know who was on the other end of the phone. I know who Harvey's Rock Nation contact is, right? I just got this information on the phone. And all of these things about Colin Kaepernick is what I just got told, right? He comes over to me and he tells me all of these things. And it was the whole Colin Kaepernick doesn't really want to play narrative. Like Colin Kaepernick didn't go to this training or he sabotaged himself this way or whatever. Actually, it was the same thing that people had started to hear on First Take.
Seeding stories.
It was a narrative that was getting around because either it was coming from what I thought at first is that either it was coming from players that had played with him or people that knew things. I don't know, but I had heard it before, right? And Harvey comes over to me and he says all of this stuff and he's like, yeah, did you know that he actually doesn't really want to play? And I looked at Harvey and I said, look, I don't think that we here at TMZ should be getting in the middle of what's going on between Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z. I think if we run what essentially was a hit piece on Colin Kaepernick, I don't think we have the cultural cachet to do that. Number one, to insert ourselves into the middle of that situation. And also, I think it's choosing a side in something that is literally at the core of a culture, of a black cultural discussion right now. I don't think we should do it. And he listened.
And you didn't do it.
He did not do it. He listened. He goes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. He listened. I'm like, I don't think we should do that. Like, he listened, right? He went and got back on the phone. And when he came back, there was a different story. And the story that ended up making it to TMZ was that Jay-Z somehow had the inside track on becoming an NFL owner.
Okay, all right. And we've played this a million times. You guys know, yeah. So, again, I want to indulge in this conversation. I've always said I feel like every media personality, humans are innately somewhat biased. Maybe you have a friend that, whatever, maybe whatever. For me, I always say I think humans are going to be biased to some extent. I think they're being honest, though, if they are honest with their biases. Hey, that's my friend. It might be difficult for me to see the forest from the trees. That's my guy. Okay, whatever. You know, you should probably take someone else's opinion seriously for that. The idea of bigger companies that are seeding fake stories or false narratives or smear campaigns, I think at this point could say Rock Nation is number one. They definitely have done that. Now, that's not me protecting. That's not me saying Drake isn't. I don't know. And that's why I said that, yo, if Drake is paying people and I ain't get a dime, I'm mad. I'm low-key mad. So low-key, I want this to get exposed, right? I'm the number one nigga who want to get this exposed. Because I'm going to show up to Drake like, yo, Drake, you pay these niggas $2 million and I get $1? Like, hell nah. Like, come on, bruv. So I'm all with it. But I'm not into selectively trying to pigeonhole, because even then, let's say Drake was doing that. Who is Drake? And again, it's seeming like I'm defending, but I'm not. I need to see the victims. Who are the people that felt that Drake actually smear campaigned against them? Like, oh, okay, he paid for this to go out bad against you. No, the worst thing Drake has done, he said that Kendrick's kids ain't his, and he said in a diss song. So I would love to see how, if Drake has done this, how has he done this and to who? Okay? Can't find who the victims are. I'm one of the victims of Rock Nation. And for anybody else who employs this strategy, I would like to see who they are too. Because we could probably figure out a lot more about, this makes sense. The timing of this story breaking and this person getting in trouble and this person getting canceled and them missing out on this money and them getting banned here. Maybe we could find some connective tissue to how these bigger companies are really meddling in the narrative or in the hip-hop ecostructure to either silence, bully, or get these niggas to get in line, especially from the media perspective. So I wanted to get exposed, Drake or not. But I'm wondering, you know me, with the Epstein files, I know y'all were like, oh, you like Trump, you won't talk about Trump. No, we can talk about Trump on the Epstein files all fucking day. It's weird. Okay? It's same thing with me with this. So it's not like protecting Drake. It's like, but before we get to Drake, like if we're looking for like, you know what I mean, the biggest killers, let's not avoid King Von and go to the nigga with one body. That nigga had 7. Rock Nation is like the biggest, they're the biggest egregious offender of everybody in almost everything. So whatever, we will see. We will see. Okay. I'll leave that there for now. I don't know why I'm hearing someone